Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the 5-minute accelerated daily training. And just real quick, I created a disclaimer since we are talking about stocks and investments and all of that. And so you can go ahead and pause this real quick and go ahead and overview this. But this basically says that I am not actually giving any advice or recommendations, even though I may talk as such. I'm really just talking out loud, especially with the examples and things that I give. They're all hypothetical and whatnot. So yeah, so if you go ahead and check that out, and then we can move on. All right. So on to things, right? I think that what we're seeing in the markets is that last big hit with the Federal Reserve and with the inflation numbers and everything that came out, that last drop that we had appears to be a bit overdone. As now we have broke this initial support level, and after dropping extremely hard, we bounced up back through that, and we're working our way back up. So obviously nothing is guaranteed yet, but anyways, remember there's going to be times of ebb and flow between fear and greed and those sorts of things. So I think that based on what I'm seeing, we may get a better than average bounce in this price, but we will see, right? So that's one of the things that you got to look at is kind of investor and trader sentiment versus what's happening. You know, if extremely bad news comes out and you don't get that hard of a push down and things seem like they want to go up, then more than likely the market is overbalanced and overweighted in a certain direction, and so it's time for things to reverse, at least in the short or intermediate term. So let's see. So that's the NASDAQ. Let's see what else we've been looking at. We've been looking at oil, right? And so last week we talked about the fact that it was coming back down towards this major support trend line here and into this support area here. And as we can see, we've got a nice bounce. When we drop down to, and we'll look at this one. This is the kind of the most pressing downtrend line, which is quite steep, so I don't expect that to hold. We may come back up and break down from there potentially, but this is more likely going to get broken, and it looks like it's in the process of that happening right now. So we're looking at this. So we drop down to the hourly chart, and we can see where price had broken down. And so this is our bigger downtrend line here, right? And so this last drop that happened, as things really kind of hit the panic button, they came down and we seem to have put in a temporary low for now, dropped almost all the way to $100. So we talked about, those kind of prices being a good buy area for a longer term play, as price came back down into value and let off some of that steam. And so now we've broken that downtrend line, had a little bit of consolidation, we've popped up through that, and now momentum is moving back to the upside. So now we're attacking that bigger downtrend line, and we will see what happens with that. But I, for one, think that is going to continue higher. I think that we're going to test new highs here. All right. So anyways, let's see. I wanted to talk about a few things. So first one was going to be kind of like discussing like journaling and mindset. I've got like a minute and a half left, so gonna crank through that real quick. But first and most importantly is having a growth mindset. When we're talking about trading in itself, trading is a very, very difficult endeavor with a very, very high failure rate. So if we are in the process of attacking and being successful in a space that's extremely difficult, one of the most important aspects is having a strong and sound mind and understanding that it is can be a very hard and treacherous journey, and the only way that you're going to survive that journey and make it to the other side of that through to the homeland of consistent profitability and making money is you have to have a growth mindset. You have to have the ability to take rough patches and discomfort and losing streaks and all these different things, and you have to use them for learning and to propel you forward, which can be very hard. It's very hard, and it's very common to go through seasons of times where you can feel pretty down and discouraged about things or want to quit. Emotions can take control, blow up your count, do all those things, right? So a big part of that is journaling and writing things out so that you can see your growth and you have something to look back to and review and to learn from the things that we do on the daily, right? Because we forget things quickly, right? We think that we're going to remember all these different aspects and these little details and stuff, but oftentimes, I would say the majority of the time, that's just not the case. You'll probably forget things that happen, by the end of the day of something that happened in the morning if it wasn't the most significant thing, right? So we document those things and we review the things that happen, right? Different changes in emotion, things that got us excited, things where when we talk about trading, where emotions really should be a minimal or very, very small part of our everyday journey, because we're supposed to be in control, right? We work to not necessarily eliminate, because we're not robots. We can't eliminate emotions, but we can work on controlling them, because we know that fear and greed are extremely powerful emotions, and they can cause us to do silly things when money's on the line in particular. So anyways, that's just a quick dive in. We're already at 6 minutes, so just kind of top 3 things was you must have a growth mindset, never stop learning, and you want to document your journey, and through that is through journaling out your trades and your emotions at different points throughout there, so that you can recognize when specific emotions continue to pop up, and the ones that continue to show up probably have some sort of foundational or deep-rooted belief or something that you are fighting against that needs to be uncovered. It needs to be drawn out into the light so that you can attack that and move on, right? So we'll talk a lot more about that in the future, but that was just a kind of a good primer on those things, and so happy trading and have a good day.